welcome to my podcast. Today I'm on here with Big Snow Wop, and we're starting a new series on the 7 Hermetic principles, which we've found to be very important and powerful in our own paths. So the first principle of the 7 Hermetic principles is the all is mind. The universe is mind. And I'm just going to read one page about it before we start talking. It says, this principle embodies the truth that all is mind. It explains that the all, which is substantial reality underlying all the outward manifestations and appearances which we know under the terms of the material universe, the phenomenon of life, matter, energy, and in short, all that is apparent to our senses, is spirit, which in itself is unknowable and undefinable, but which we may consider and thought of as a universal, infinite, living mind. It also explains that all the phenomenal world are simply a mental creation of the all, subject to the laws of created things, and that the universe as a whole, and in its part or units, has its existence in the mind of the all, in which mind we live, move, and have our being, which is a quote from the Bible. This principle, by establishing the mental nature of the universe, easily explains all of the varied mental and psychic phenomenon that occupy such a large portion of the public attention, and which without such explanation are non-understandable and defy scientific treatment. An understanding of this great Hermetic principle of mentalism enables the individual to readily grasp the laws of the mental universe and apply the same to his well-being and advancement. The Hermetic student is enabled to apply intelligently the great mental laws instead of using them in a haphazard manner. Boom. With the master key in his possession, the student may unlock the many doors of the mental and psychic temple of knowledge and enter the same freely and intelligently. This principle explains the true nature of energy, power, and matter, and why and how all these are subordinate to the mastery of mind. So basically, if you master the mind, you control energy, power, and matter. Yeah. One of the old Hermetic masters wrote
in multiple dimensions, in all of the dimensions, really.
Like you said before, you become like
God. Essentially, you remove the barriers that make you not God from yourself. Yeah.
He who grasps the truth of the mental nature of the universe is well advanced on the path to mastery, and these words are as true today as the time they were first written. Without this master key, mastery is impossible, and the student knocks in vain at the many doors of the temple.
Damn.
Well, what do you have to say about that?
Man, that's some powerful shit, man. The Kabbalion's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that just pretty much explained, like, all you have to know about the universe, basically.
Yeah, for real. Like,
they just said,
like, you are everything, and everything is you, so, like...
yeah.
Should I say that thing about, like, the brains?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, me and Alex were, floating down a ravine one day, and we were talking about these things, and I made this, like, analogy that I find to be... We both found to be pretty, like, accurate, and, like, a good way of putting this, and... It's like we all have brains, like, you know, like I have a brain, like, you know, like my son has a brain, my mom has a brain, my grandparents have brains, my friends have brains, like we all have our own brains, but it's like we're like all connected to like a bigger brain, you know, like that's like thinking all of our little brains, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my gosh, it's so weird when you, like, if you actually picture it in like a cartoon manner, like just for like scholastic purposes, just like, you know, picture like, you know, 8 little brains with like white little energy surrounding them and like a little energy trail leading up to like a big brain.
They all have no idea that's actually where they're getting all the thoughts and everything from.
Yeah.
That's why the Hindus always say that there's no doer, or that the only doer is the big brain,
which is like the puppet master of us all.
So it's like we are it on one level, and then on the level that we're not, we just are controlled by the master, which is...
So is free will a total illusion?
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to tell people forever.
Like...
yeah.
So there's got to be some sort of,
at least in a sense.
there's got to be like some sort of free will, but it's like bound by these dimensions. You know what I'm saying? That's why we're like in the third dimension. If like, cause like it's like the free will only can go so far here. Like, unless you learn these principles, in which case I think. I don't know, man. I don't think free will really is an illusion.
I think there's on this level, you think you're making choices, and then if you were on a higher level, like an astral plane, you could see that it's all just like unfolding law. But then maybe when you go all the way to the top, then you're like making the choices.
Yeah, you're probably like telling someone like, "Hey, you, go make those choices for them." Hey, you, go make those choices for them.
Yeah.
Straight up, that's fucked.
Yeah.
That's fucked, bro. So it's like.
Yes, exactly.
So like, dude, what about like the Mormon shit? How they were saying like the creator of our universe used to just be like a human. That's like pretty much what they say, right?
Yeah, that's what they say.
Or is that what Damien Eccles says?
He said that it says that in the Book of Mormon.
So Damien Eccles said that's pretty much.
It's true because I asked my friend who was a Mormon, and she said that it does say that.
I mean, he's pretty credible. Like if he's saying that, they're probably at least somewhat saying that. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Yeah. She said it was true. So, basically, in the Book of Mormon, they're saying that the God that created this universe was once a human in another universe, and that basically through some kind of magical power, spiritual practice, became God, and then created this universe.
Bro.
And then somebody asked him, "Is that how all the universes were created?" And he said, "The whole multiverse." And he said, "I don't know." He said, "I don't think all of them."
So like, do you think that the creator of this universe used to be human?
Like he's saying in there? I mean, I don't see why not. But he says that's different than like the source of everything. But that's like
right.
Like I could create a universe one day, and I'd be like the creator of the universe, and it'd be like.
But you wouldn't be the source.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I get it.
Even though our true nature would all be the source, but my like separate nature would be not the source.
So so the demiurge is not the source.
Yeah, I would say.
But the source is the demiurge.
Damien Eccles said that too, because someone asked him that.
But the source is the demiurge, but the demiurge is not the source.
Yeah, the source is us, everything.
So, who's the source then? The source is like truly what we think of as God.
Yeah, that's like what you really think of as God, is like the one. You know, you can only call it like the one if you're not in it, because they say like when you're in it, it's like there's no concepts of anything. You know, that's like the Buddhists talk about it. They call it gate gate. It's a mantra in Buddhism. Gate gate, para gate, para samgate. It's like gone beyond the beyond. It's like that.
Holy fuck.
I don't know that article I was reading, those articles that you sent me, one of them said that you can go back into like that and rest there for like, and then it's like a rejuvenation, and then you can come back out into like forms again. So since we were just breaking down the macrocosmic view of it, should we talk about the microcosmic view of this?
So like in your personal life? Yeah. So like the microcosmic view would be like when you want something, like everything that is of this realm is like the same thing you are. Like you literally don't have like
once the barriers are gone, you realize it's all you, so you could like make it become.
Yeah, like you pretty much can like instantly have it. Really, like you know what I'm saying? Like it, like if like the manifesting is like a topic that's like highly talked about in like the new wave of spirituality. What do they call it? New age?
Yeah, it gives it a bad vibe.
They do say a lot of legit shit. But anyways, like in your personal life, like the all is mine. Like I think of it with manifesting though. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like the easiest thing for me.
Yeah, and manifesting it really doesn't just mean even stuff. Like it means energies, like ways of being, people, like a circumstance. It's not just like, oh, I'm manifesting a new car. It's like could be it too, but it could be a lot more than just that.
Yeah. So
basically, what you're saying, capture it is that if you realize the mind is all, and you do practices like related to that, you start separating the boundary between you and the rest of the universe, and then since there's no boundary and you realize everything's mind, whatever you like start to set your intents on and stuff comes about way more easier.
Faster and quicker, like more obviously clear that it's because you're doing that, and obviously and honestly it's just like the idea of manifesting is like I feel like people go about it wrong. Like, I want that, kind of like they have like a strong desire for something, whereas like for me, like I know that if I were to like attempt to actually manifest something like tangibly, like I would just like see myself already having it and feel like I already have it. Like there would be no want. It would be more like gratitude for already having it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that's what I feel like since I have been like doing these practices and understanding this, the way in which my life is like whatever I intend just seems to come about like so much more quickly.
Yeah, for real.
So I wanted to say, you know what I just realized? They're basically telling you the most important principle of the beginning, and then it goes on to describe, like, in the next 6 Hermetic principles, how everything functions within the mind is all. Because they're basically telling you the whole thing right from the beginning, like, hey, the mind is all. That's basically the truth of everything, and that's all you need to know.
No, I wouldn't say that, though. Like, I see your point, and I understand what you're saying, but I wouldn't use those words. I don't think it's the most important one, but I think it is the most paradigm-shifting one, maybe. Like,
yeah, but doesn't everything else seem like it's within that? The principle of correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm.
It's all in the mind.
Cause and effect, and gender. So that's just what I'm saying, is that they tell you, like, the thing that it's all in first, and then everything
like the
else
order.
would be, like, how the order of it.
Yeah, that actually does make sense. Like, what's the last one? Gender?
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think what you said is kind of true.
Well, because think about it, if you were teaching that to people and you were a great master, you would first start off by being like, well, here's how it is, everybody. And then you'd kind of, even Ramdas, when people would ask him, like, questions, he would first tell them, like, the answer that would come from, like, you being God.
That's how I talk, too.
And then he'd tell them, like, the astral answer, and then he'd tell them, like, the human answer.
Yeah, like, that's, if someone were to ask me something and really the real me was talking to them at, like actually how I talk, that's how I would answer it, too. That's probably how you would, because that's how you think. That's, like, how you would have to go about it, because that's what it is.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to our rendering on the 7 Hermetic principles. If you've enjoyed this one, the next principle that we'll be talking about is the principle of correspondence. As above, so below. As below, so above. So stay tuned, and we will be back